We currently have 3 active systems, all of which are threatening land. One of them is a late-season typhoon. I will break down all of these systems, the forecast models, and the satellite imagery so you can get the right information on these potential intensities as they hit land. It's TBF Cyclone, Wednesday, November 26, 2025. Invest 96B, starting with that one. It currently has 35 mile an hour sustained winds and a high chance of development in the next 24 hours. I do expect that to develop. I will show you the forecast models on that. Look at it on regular satellite imagery. It is very large already and is moving towards Sri Lanka. Tropical depression Saynar did get named. It had the 3-minute sustained winds of at least 40 miles an hour to get a name. In the North Indian Ocean, they do 3-minute sustained winds rather than 10-minute or 1-minute like the Atlantic. The 10-minute is for any other basin except the North Atlantic and the North Indian Ocean. Typhoon Kodo currently has 80 mile an hour sustained winds and has quickly intensified. It is forecast to intensify a little more to 85 miles an hour before weakening over the weekend. And then by Monday, a minimal tropical storm making its way toward Vietnam. The forecast models on these storms, starting with Saynar, within the next 6 hours, the Google AI model is showing this dissipating, so that won't last much longer. And then maybe a landfall in Malaysia. Let me go back to the forecast. They actually forecast it to re-intensify into a tropical storm. I don't think that's going to happen, but then they show it hitting Malaysia as a weak tropical storm or a strong tropical depression. And also looking at the storm, let me show you. So if you see on the bottom left of your screen, the latitude is 3.33 degrees north. That is very far south that's very close to the equator for a tropical cyclone. Usually tropical cyclones will develop, the closest they'll develop is 5 degrees to the equator, 5 degrees north or south. And whenever they're in that 0 to 5 degree range, that's when they're considered a very close to the equator system. The reason that doesn't happen is due to the Coriolis effect, which I'm going to try and do a video on that. I could hopefully get it out in the next month, now that I think of it. And so be sure to subscribe to learn what the Coriolis effect is. Back to the forecast models with this system near Sri Lanka. The Google AI forecast model shows this developing over Sri Lanka. While tropical systems mostly don't develop over land, Sri Lanka is a small enough island at which a tropical system can develop. If it's a big island, it's not really going to happen, or even a whole continent, that's not going to happen. But Sri Lanka isn't necessarily a small island, but it's small enough at which a cyclone can develop over it. And then they show it going up the coast of India. Some forecast models indicating that it may make a landfall on India as a strong tropical storm, almost hurricane force cyclone. The Google AI for Typhoon Kodo shows it continuing to strengthen a little bit, then weakening, then re-strengthening into a typhoon, and then dissipating as it makes its way toward Vietnam. I do think it might hit Vietnam. And then there is another system that the Google AI is indicating that may get pretty strong, but as of right now, the Google AI is really the only forecast model showing something strong developing. None of the other forecast models are. Starting with the European forecast model for that system really quickly. They do show it, well, they don't really show any development at all. Maybe a tropical depression as it hits the Philippines. The GFS model does show this becoming a strong tropical storm, but staying away from all land masses. Maybe a late year typhoon, if at most. The Indian Ocean storms, the GFS does show this developing over Sri Lanka, and then Typhoon Kodo kind of maintaining its intensity where it's at, and then dissipating before hitting Vietnam. And then they don't even show the active system, Saynar, down near Malaysia. And then the European forecast model, same thing with Saynar, doesn't even show it active. But they do show this other storm developing over Sri Lanka. They actually show Kodo regaining or gaining a little bit of intensity before losing it and hitting as a weak tropical storm by December 1st. So that might happen. So that's it for today, guys. Be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching and see ya.